Welcome to College Briefing. The content of the briefing includes: drug used to treat asthma also offers exciting protection for multiple food allergies. Yuba College President Dotson honored with Distinguished Alumni Award. Hot chips top global list of foods for best biodiversity footprint, study finds. The Ally Review, social justice as a maddening hall of mirrors. WA teacher loses registration over sex with former student. Drug used to treat asthma also offers exciting protection for multiple food allergies. ABC. A drug used to treat asthma could help people with multiple food allergies, according to researchers. The drug, called omalizumab, has been found to reduce reactions to small amounts of allergens found in nuts, eggs, wheat and milk. In a study, 80% of patients who received omalizumab injections were able to consume just over a gram of one food they were allergic to without any adverse reaction. Almost 70% could eat just over a gram of 2 allergens and 47% could have just over a gram of 3. However, omalizumab is not a cure for food allergies and patients taking it must continue to avoid the foods they are allergic to. The drug is currently approved for the treatment of allergic asthma, chronic hives and chronic sinus infections with nasal polyps, but not for food allergies. Patients in Australia would have to pay the full price of $410 $284 per vial if it were to be prescribed off-label. Yuba College President Dotson honored with Distinguished Alumni Award. Yahoo! Dr. Tawny Dotson, the president of Yuba College, has been awarded the 2024 Adult and Higher Education Distinguished Alumni Award at Oregon State University's School of Education. The award is given annually, and it recognizes an alumnus who has made a significant contribution to the field of higher education. The recipient must also be a role model for students and alumni. Dotson expressed gratitude for the recognition and credited her team and the wider community for their support. She holds a doctorate in community college leadership from Oregon State and has been president of Yuba College since 2020. Hot chips top global list of foods for best biodiversity footprint, study finds. ABC. A study by the University of Singapore has ranked the biodiversity footprint of 151 of the world's most popular meals. The meal with the highest impact on biodiversity was roast lamb from Spain, while French fries had the lowest impact. Dishes based on starches and potatoes were generally the most efficient, while beef-heavy meals were the least. The study found that reducing meat consumption and buying locally were some of the most effective ways for consumers to decrease their biodiversity footprint. The Ally Review, social justice as a maddening hall of mirrors. New York Times. The Ally is a play by Itamar Moses that explores the complexities of identity and politics through the story of a Jewish writing professor who is asked to endorse a manifesto seeking justice for a black man killed by police. The manifesto also calls for sanctions on Israel and accuses the United States of complicity in the genocide of Palestinians. The play delves into the heated debates surrounding Israel and Palestine, leaving the main character and the audience emotionally drained. The play is seen as important but also maddening due to its endless, furious, and familiar debates. WA teacher loses registration over sex with former student. The Sydney Morning Herald. A teacher in Western Australia has been banned from teaching for 3 years after engaging in an inappropriate relationship with a former student. Jessica Forgione, who was 25 years old at the time, was the student's teacher in high school and continued to interact with him after he left school. The relationship began when Forgione volunteered to help manage a sports team that the student was involved in. The two began exchanging personal messages and eventually engaged in sexual activity. Forgione has been suspended from teaching since April 2023 and will not be able to renew her teaching registration for 3 years. BOJ should make straightforward policy shift, top finance professor says. Japan Times. The Bank of Japan, BOJ, should be prepared to end its negative interest rate policy with minimal interruption, says Hiroshi Yoshikawa, economics professor at the University of Tokyo. Currently, the BOJ, under Governor Kazuo Ueda, is expected to raise rates in Q1 or Q2 this year, despite Japan's technical recession. The bank's positive move is expected due to rising inflation, confirmed by Tuesday's inflation figures which revealed a 2% rise in January, and the expectation of increases in annual wage negotiations. Wednesday's time schedule. Associated Press. The article provides a schedule of upcoming NBA, NHL, and college basketball games. It lists the teams and times for each game. Oklahoma State knocks off number 24 West Virginia 68-61. Associated Press. Oklahoma State defeated number 24 West Virginia 68-61 in women's college basketball, with Annegret ACI scoring 22 points and Quincy Noble adding 15 points for the Cowboys. The loss was West Virginia's third in a row, the first time this season the team has suffered such a streak. In other games, number 14 Indiana beat Northwestern 84-64, number 21 Baylor defeated Cincinnati 74-53, and number 23 Creighton routed Xavier 99-57. Clemson uses balanced attack and put clamps on Hinson, Pitt in 69-62 win. Associated Press. Clemson defeated Pittsburgh 69-62 in a college basketball game on Tuesday night. Chase Hunter and Joe Girard each scored 15 points for Clemson, while P.J. Hall and Ian Schieffelin recorded double-doubles. Schieffelin scored 15 points and grabbed 12 rebounds, while Hall scored 12 points and secured 10 boards. Carlton Carrington scored 18 points for Pitt, while Ishmael Leggett scored 15 points off the bench. Clemson held Pitt's leading scorer Blake Hinson to just 6 points on 2-for-9 shooting. It's a leap year, so why do we have to add a bonus day to our calendar again? ABC. Leap year is a phenomenon that occurs every 4 years when an extra day, February 29th, is added to the calendar. The purpose of leap years is to correct the discrepancy between the solar year, which is about 365.242 days, and the calendar year, which is 365 days. The Julian calendar, introduced by Julius Caesar in 46 BCE, added an extra day every 4 years to account for this difference. However, this overcompensated for the discrepancy, leading to too many leap years. The Gregorian calendar, introduced by Pope Gregory XIII in the late 16th century, made further adjustments to the leap year rules to reduce the drift between the calendar and the solar year. Leap years are important to maintain the accuracy of the calendar and prevent seasonal drift. If leap years were not observed, the calendar would gradually fall out of sync with the solar year, resulting in changes to the seasons over time. People born on February 29, known as leaplings, celebrate their birthday on either February 28 or March 1, and there are approximately 4.8 million leaplings worldwide. Michigan Democrats send message to Biden, with thousands voting for uncommitted in primary. Yahoo! A significant number of Michigan Democrats voted against President Biden in the state's presidential primary on Tuesday due to their opposition to his support for Israel's actions in Gaza. While Biden still won the primary easily, around 15% of Michigan Democrats cast ballots for uncommitted as a sign of their displeasure with the president's policy in the Middle East. Michigan has a large Arab American population, many of whom have ties to or sympathies with the Palestinians. This protest vote highlights the internal unrest within both the Democratic and Republican parties. Asian stocks slip, Kiwi drops on inflation outlook, markets wrap. Yahoo! Shares in Asia were mostly lower as a rally in China cooled and focus shifted to a slew of growth and inflation data this week. The New Zealand dollar fell after the nation's central bank said inflation expectations have declined. The currency slipped 0.9% after the Reserve Bank of New Zealand said the risks to the inflation outlook have become more balanced, citing how most measures of price expectations have fallen. It held policy rates as expected by economists. What we learned from Cincinnati Bearcats' loss at Houston Cougars. Yahoo! The number 1 ranked Houston Cougars beat the University of Cincinnati Bearcats 67-59 in a Big 12 showdown. UC was able to outscore the Cougars 42-41 in the second half, but a season-low 17 points in the first half was too much to overcome. UC was led by 11 points from Simas Lukosius and 11 points and 9 boards from Victor Locken. UC struggled in the second half to get the lead under 10 points. Ronsiek scores 25, leads 5 in double figures as number 23 Creighton women rout Xavier 99-57. Associated Press. Number 23 Creighton defeated Xavier 99-57 in a women's college basketball game. Emma Ronsiek led the way with 25 points, while 5 players scored in double figures for Creighton. Creighton closed the first quarter on a 13-3 run and led 43-30 at halftime. Creighton has now won 15 straight games against Xavier. Number 14 Indiana women dominate the third quarter in 84-64 victory over Northwestern. Associated Press. Number 14 Indiana defeated Northwestern 84-64 in women's college basketball on Tuesday. Mackenzie Holmes had 28 points and 9 rebounds for Indiana, surpassing Steve Alford to become the second all-time leading scorer among Indiana's men's and women's programs. Indiana pulled away in the third quarter, scoring 28 points to extend their lead to 71-45. Melanie Daly led Northwestern with 24 points. Indiana will play Maryland on Sunday to conclude the regular season, while Northwestern will play Rutgers. And that's a wrap for today's news. Let's dive into the highlights. First up, researchers have found that a drug used to treat asthma, called omalizumab, could provide protection for people with multiple food allergies. While it's not a cure, it has shown promising results in reducing allergic reactions to certain foods. In other news, Dr. Tawny Dotson, the president of Yuba College, has been honored with the 2024 Adult and Higher Education Distinguished Alumni Award. Congratulations to Dr. Dotson for her significant contribution to the field of higher education. Now, let's talk about something we all love, food. A study by the University of Singapore has ranked the biodiversity footprint of popular meals around the world. Surprisingly, hot chips, or French fries, have the lowest impact on biodiversity, while roast lamb from Spain had the highest. So, maybe we should indulge in some fries guilt-free. Moving on to the arts, The Ally is a thought-provoking play by Itamar Moses that explores the complexities of identity and politics. It delves into the heated debates surrounding Israel and Palestine, leaving both the main character and the audience emotionally drained. It's an important play, but be prepared for endless, furious debates. In more somber news, a teacher in Western Australia has been banned from teaching for 3 years after engaging in an inappropriate relationship with a former student. Let's hope this serves as a reminder of the importance of maintaining professional boundaries. Now, on to finance. An economics professor at the University of Tokyo has suggested that the Bank of Japan, BOJ, should be prepared to end its negative interest rate policy. Rising inflation and positive economic indicators may prompt the BOJ to raise rates soon. In sports, we have updates from the NBA, NHL, and college basketball. Oklahoma State defeated number 24 West Virginia in women's college basketball, while Clemson secured a win against Pittsburgh. And, of course, we can't forget about leap year. It's that special extra day we get every 4 years to keep our calendars in sync with the solar year. Lastly, we have some interesting political news. In the Michigan presidential primary, around 15% of Democrats voted for uncommitted as a protest against President Biden's support for Israel's actions in Gaza. This highlights the internal unrest within both the Democratic and Republican parties. That's all for today's news. I hope you enjoyed our journey through various topics. Now it's your turn to share your thoughts and questions. What do you think about the potential use of omalizumab for food allergies? Are you a fan of hot chips? And what are your views on the internal unrest within the political parties? Let's keep the conversation going. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.